Today, I am not just a voice, I'm a movement. I am here to remind you that this is Earth and we are all running out of time. I know what it's like to feel stuck between potential and reality. I know what it feels like to be hungry for change, but unsure where to start. That's why I'm building this movement with you. My journey is your journey. We rise together, we grow together, and together we build something unstoppable. If you believe you're capable of more, if you know your potential is waiting to be unleashed, stay with me. We're just getting started. Let's go to 1.2 million and beyond. This is just the beginning. Hashtag rise with me. So, the personal moment to feeling time slipping by and what drove me there. I felt this way before, where time was being wasted. And when it was being wasted, I didn't realize at that time. And I lacked purpose, misdirection, misalignment. And I didn't realize how time is so precious. This year, last year, I done changed. My transformation mentally has helped me escape from wasting time. And I always say, God, teach me how to number my days so I won't waste them. So I know how to make them count. And previous years, few years ago, I felt this way, where I was stuck in a job, working in a company. It was a warehouse, and I was a line cook. It was a line work. I was the third shift, graveyard shift. I remember this like it was yesterday. I was working at this factory, the graveyard shift, the third shift, and I felt like I was there wasting time because it wasn't my potential. This is my potential. My voice is my gift. And today I'm utilizing it. I'm wasting my gift. I'm done burying it. And that's when I realized that time is really precious. What drove me to that point was not acknowledging it, that time is my most precious commodity. It isn't money and it isn't anything else. It's my time, my life, my health, my relationships, my family. These are the most important things to me. So, with that being said, what's stopping me from becoming who I know I can be? Really, what's stopping me from becoming who I know I can be? Well, I stopped wasting time, so that ain't stopping me anymore. See, time can be converted into money. Time can be converted into health. Time can be converted into cultivating a relationship or developing a skill, building a structure. So time is a tool. It's precious, it's beautiful. I'm done wasting it, and I'm done consuming as much By consuming, I mean social media, all these self-sabotaging substances that I don't want no part of. But that's part of the come up. You see, that setback was a set up for a bigger comeback, for a bigger come up. This is the come up. So my story is about transformation, how I went from negative to positive throughout time. I don't regret none of it because that's who made me the man I am today. I am able to value and cherish time and therefore allocate it properly throughout my days. And I enjoy my life. I trust the process. I enjoy the process. This is who I am today. This is the transformation in my bank account, in my body, in my mental, you know what I'm saying? In my relationships, etc. Hey, with that being said, let's get into today's first point. All right, this is part one of this situation. The biggest pain is that most people suffer from unused potential. I'll say it again. Most people suffer from unused potential, right? So how this relates to me and my personal story is, I'm going to share a time where I was held back and what it cost me. This is where I couldn't see a potential that was really lying dormant within me. This happened to me because I allowed the world to tell me who I am or who I was or I thought I should be. And that was wrong. If I allowed the world to tell me who I am, then I am making a mistake, because I learned through my experience that, and my come up is that I tell the world who I am. I don't allow the world to tell me who I am. I tell the world who I am, and therefore the world bends. I create my own reality. See, it all starts in the mind. I am what I believe I am. Therefore, a man is what he think he is most of the time. You understand me? So, with that being said, I remember this time pretty much a few years ago where I was still allowing either my parents, my ex-girlfriends, a girlfriend at the time, of course, friendships that turn out to be fake friends, right? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, because you know what your enemy will do, but you'll never know what to expect from a friend, because they can always betray you and stab you on your back. And the same thing applies to family. Can't say you love me, gotta show me. So these are little things that I've learned throughout my experiences. My potential being unused is something that I realized around the same time that I was wasting it. That I was wasting my time, that I was wasting my potential. And I know there is something more inside of me. I am more than my current situation, my environment, and my surroundings. That's why when people ask me, how did I make such a dramatic change? I always say the same thing. I change people, places, and things. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Now the transition, this pain is universal. Everybody feels this pain when they're stuck at a job. Like I was working at the factory, working the graveyard shift. working all night, sleeping all day, 6-7 days out of the week, and cutting this rat race. And really my potential and my gifts were about to die being unused. And that's the reason why I wake up today, because I become dangerous in discipline because I want my family to live a life of peace. I want my son to have an example and a path that he can follow. And I want all my gifts not to die being unused. This is the reason why I am the man I am today. This is the reason why I get up and make these videos, get up and grind, wake up at 5 a.m., make sure that I'm eating, getting big. You understand me? And it is what it is. Moving on to the second part of this. By the way, the moral of the story is most people suffer from unused potential. Stop suffering and use your potential. Use it. Unleash it on the world. Let it out. Be that voice. Be that light. Be the change, the positive change. That's who I am, that I want to see in the world. Alright, moving on to part 2. Universal struggles. This is everybody. This is the entire world. My bullet point on this is time is limited. Time is limited. And I'm going to tell a story here where I'm going to talk about a moment I realized time was passing fast. Which I told you guys about the time working at that warehouse factory, the third shift, where I was working in this factory and I felt out of place. I felt like I was wasting my time. I was sleeping all day and barely making ends meet. So the time kept passing by. I realized that in a job during that occupation, I've also realized that in relationships where I'm used to the hurt, used to the pain, and I let time pass by instead of ending it and detaching and really working on myself in the first place, because that's how I got here in the first place. You see, I didn't know myself well, and I got into a relationship. And what do when you get into a relationship? You start finding out about the other person, getting to know them. The problem with that is that, like I said, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know myself well enough. And here I go, hop in a romantic relationship for the long term, I'm thinking, because I'm the type of man that looks ahead. And I'm starting to get to know her, getting to know her more than I know myself. This is a mistake. So I don't want you guys to go and make the same mistakes I have made in the past, right? That was then spending 5 years in a relationship with learning someone else, but really not knowing who I am, and therefore not really working on myself, right? Because I thought that I was working on the relationship. And here goes another mistake. Don't try to change other people. See, my message here is that I'm not telling you what to do. I am simply saying this is how I do it. If you guys love to sit down and watch me and hear my story and resonate, get something out of it, more power to you. More power to you. And that is okay. That's tough. That's tough. But I would definitely say how I made my transformation was first and foremost getting to know myself first before getting a relationship and getting to know somebody else, right? I have to fill my cup, right? Because if I'm a half and she's a half, that doesn't make a full. That makes hell. So today I am a whole person, which means I don't need her. I can do life without her. I could do life without him or without the material things and the validation. All I need is God, my God, and myself to trust on me. This is called self-reliance, which is, if followed, it will provide self-respect, pride. Now, pride lingers. Talking about time, pride lingers. But so does regret. Regret lingers, pride lingers. I would say choose wisely. Don't waste the time. This is earth. Time is limited, and I've been caught up in certain situations and environments where I didn't belong there. I spent too much time attached and therefore wasted, where I could have been working on myself and really hitting that level up years ago. But now those years are gone. I can't get them back. It's okay, because it's the only reason it's okay, because I have learned from the mistake and I have extracted the valuable lesson, and I'm putting it in this message. So in other words, I am healing this man. I have healed this man. Now I'm giving this man back to the world as a form of sacrifice, like Jesus did. And notice I have my Bible back there, New Translation Bible. And Jesus is the best example on earth ever. This is earth, and time is limited. So question is, do I count the days, or do I make the days count? Definitely. I'll tell you another story about time being limited. A time when finances held me back, or a lesson that freed me. Finances holding me back. I gotta ask myself why. The question is why. Well, if I can't manage the activities, right, because we can't manage time. There's only 24 hours in a day. So I ain't going to get any more of it. You ain't going to get any more time. One time has passed. It's gone. Right? So since I can't manage time, the only thing I can manage is the time, the activities I do allocate and perform, which that within that time period, within that time frame. So I can manage the activity within a period of time, which is 24 hours if we're grinding every day. As I wake up a man on a mission, right? So the time, the activities, the management overall translate into our finances, right? Because if I'm not managing the activities within the time I have in a 24-hour period, which is a day, then that poor management, that mismanagement is going to translate into everything else, including finances, relationships, and kids. Now, this is why I'm a firm believer. This is how I made my transformation. I adjusted my mindset. Because once upon a time, I used to believe that only the things that I want to matter, that I do in a day, matters. Wrong. And rookie mistake. I am telling you this from experience, people. This is how I was able to change. Not only the things that I want to matter. Reality of the fact is that everything matters. So check this out. Me recording this video matters. Right? If I don't record it, that matters as well. Right? Everything is interconnected. Every decision leads to another thought, another feeling, which in turn provokes another decision, right? And it's an experience, a result, another thought, and it all comes back to you, to me. Now, my shadow follows me everywhere I go. You see, the moment I found out that I should be working harder on myself than I do at a job, that's the minute I started winning and my entire life changed. So, with that being said, yes, everything matters. I'm a firm believer that the way I do something, anything, is the way I do everything, because it translates into that. With that being said, finances, I wasn't always the smartest man, but the moral of the story is that I lived and learned. And that's what it's all about. Becoming a better man today than I was yesterday. And by the way, if I am making the same mistakes I was making yesterday, then there's no evolution. And now I am wasting it. Because what is life? Life is creation. Yes? So I come from a creator. He created me, and I am created in his like and image. Therefore, I reflect his qualities. Therefore, I can create as well with the power of my mind, the power of my tongue. That's where the power of life and death lies. The power of my heart, that's my will. The power of my hand, that's my touch. And watch this. This is my reach. My reach is my pitch, is my voice, my gift. Now, if I wasn't recording this video, nobody would know. But the fact that I am voicing myself out and I am getting the attention and I'm taking control, responsibility of my life, my finances, my time, this is all gonna trickle down into being a boss. See, because it's very intentional, and awareness keeps me alive. The minute I let distractions, worries, doubt into my mind, I lose. So fear does not exist. Faith is what's moving me, and I'm walking by it. It's not by sight. Therefore, this is who I am today. So praise God, and to him be all the glory. With that being said, let's move on to the next point. This is my next bullet point, right? We already talked about time is limited, right? We talked about fear of potential. I made breakthroughs when I stopped playing small. When I stop playing small, I make breakthroughs. Because like Steve Harvey says, I read a book, The Power of Positive Thinking. That changed my life. You know, most people are negative. So I am going the opposite. I'm positive. Because if I stay positive, there's no way in my mind that I can lose. You know, I am a winner, and my actions lets me know that every single day. My results dictates who I am today. You know, this video is an asset. And that's what I'm saying. It's an asset. I posted up. It's there for days. But guess what? Whatever I put out into the universe, with time, is gonna bring great return. It's gonna bring great rewards. And I'm not doing that because I want the reward, but I'm doing this because I want to help people. And that's the value, the transformation. This is not motivation. Don't get me wrong. This is transformation, showing you exactly what I'm about, where I came from, which is the bottom, where I'm headed to, which is the top, and every level in between. And that is the fear of potential most people have. They don't want to face it. Me, I'm not scared. I'm not afraid to face my own potential, my own reality, and because I know I'm quite capable of changing it. By setting my mind. Once my mind is set, my potential is met. And then I reach new heights, span new horizons. That's how this whole thing works. This is how I'm doing it. This is how I have done it, and I keep doing it, and I'm keep building it, you know? So that's my major breakthrough, is the YouTube channel, speaking on camera, public speaking, communication skills. Writing a speech, telling a story, conveying a message that one can relate to. This is me. My power is in my voice. So today, I am using it. Because if I don't use it, I'll lose it. And excuse my French, but I'd be damned if I waste the time and bury my gift. If God gives you a gift or a talent, would you bury it, or what would you do with it? Yes, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the next thing is loneliness, right? Loneliness. I'm gonna tell you a story when I felt alone despite being surrounded, right? Because I'm originally from the Dominican Republic, which is a beautiful island with beautiful people surrounded by water. And right now, as you can see behind me, I have the New York City Empire State Building, right? Beautiful. Shout out to NYC, all my people from New York State, upstate, right? That's my hometown. That's where I grew up, right? And the thing is, now today I am in California. Beautiful, right? 20 million people live in California. This is a 14-hour state, right? We have more people in CA than there is in Canada. In Canada, there's 4 or 5 million. In California, there's 20 million people, right? I am surrounded by people everywhere I go. And despite being surrounded, I have still felt alone, right? Feeling alone in a room full of people because I be feeling misunderstood, or I be feeling like I can't really shine, I must dim my light. I'm done doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. Because what happens is I would dim my own light to make other people feel comfortable about their own insecurities, which had nothing to do with me. Back again to taking other people's energy, like trauma, insecurities, responsibility, allowing the world to tell me who I am today. Instead of letting them dictate who I am, today I stand up as a man, 10 toes down, firm, with my belief, with fire on my chest and tears in my eyes, saying, this is the man I am today, right? Each and every day I wake up and grind because that's the kind of man I am. I know that's the kind of man I is. That's who I am, and that's my prerogative. And if you choose not to do the same, then more power to you, right? Stay blessed, king. Stay blessed, queen. That is okay, because I don't get on this social media telling people or telling anybody what to do. I am simply up here today grinding like I always do, working on myself like I always do, leveling up, helping people, and spreading a good message that hopefully they can relate, right? That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. So even though I have felt alone, because people, Picasso is the best way to put it. You judge me before you understood it, right? So that's kind of what it is. Even when I felt alone in a large crowd, out in public in New York City, Times Square, out in LA, the point is that I can always pick up my phone and call my friend today. So it's not that I'm alone, because with this technology, I can call my dad in DR, I can call my friend in Texas, I can hit up my other family member in Italy, and I can hop on the Facebook and I have their phone numbers and I have FaceTime. So what I've learned is how to stay connected. And this YouTube video I'm making today is helping me do that. It's helping me reach more people. And I want to thank y'all for the bottom of my heart for helping me not waste my time, really come out and exercise my full potential, reach new heights, spread nothing but positivity and good energy, give tons of value, share my experience, my life stories, my mistakes, what I learned from them, and not giving out advice, but definitely I take suggestions. We take suggestions over here, and a suggestion is like you can take it or you can leave it, but either way, like I feel good about it, because once I record the video, once the artist creates the art and he puts it out in the world, my job is done, because I don't care how it's being perceived necessarily. What I want to do is spread my message, voice, and show the world my true transformation. Like I said, this is not about motivation. This is completely 100% about my transformation, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially, in each and every way possible, I have been leveling up, and this is my journey, and I want you guys to be part of this journey. And I'm spreading this love, spreading this peace, because it means everything to me. Like I said, let's go to 1.2 million and beyond. This is just the beginning. Rise with me. Don't forget to subscribe.